Welcome to the Power Within podcast with Raquel, a master class in mastery of self. Simply put, this is where you get your life. Welcome to the Power Within podcast with Raquel. I am so excited to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's topic is the awareness of oneness. You know, as a therapist, trainer, speaker, and coach, but particularly as a therapist and a God chaser, I have learned over the years that my awareness is key. My awareness, my understanding of my oneness with my Creator is so important to any and everything else that will happen. My favorite book says, "Know ye not that ye are God's." And I think that when you don't know who you are, that will make you a little bit uncomfortable. But the more and more you understand who you are, the more comfortable you become with that, and you begin to operate in that. One of my mentors has said that there's a big difference between how one works and how one operates. Also, in how energy works versus how energy operates. So it's really important to understand that in our oneness with the Creator, we operate in authority. That's why my favorite book says, "Know ye not that ye are God's." So it's not a mystical idea. It's simply divine. So when I think of oneness, I think of another word, connectedness. When I think of connectedness, I also think of relationship. We all have relationship with one another. Now, I want you to think about this world that we live in and the high rate of suicide. Did you know that the rate of suicide in teenagers is the number 2 or the second highest cause of death in teenagers? And it is increasing at an alarming rate. I simply propose to you that if we could increase in our awareness of our oneness as adults who teach children, then we could eradicate this number. You see, wisdom is the principal thing. When you understand your oneness, then you understand your authority. Know ye not that ye are God's also indicates for us, just as God is, I am. He said, "I am that I am." Who else said that? Yeah. Ask your kids. They would say Popeye, right? I am that I am, and that's all that I am. So when we begin to know that about ourselves, then our head doesn't turn to the right or the left, ladies, when we're called outside of our name. You know some of the names that we can be called. So don't be alarmed. Take it all in stride. Hold your head up high because I am. You see, there's an understanding that comes with I am. There's an understanding that everything around me is resource. But my awareness of oneness comes when I stay connected to the source. Money is a resource. People are resources. My car is a resource. My job is a resource. But my God is the source. And so when I take the time to cultivate that relationship, I connect to my awareness of my oneness, and I become powerful in my own right. Now, let me say this. I love to talk about power because I think that there's such a misunderstanding of power. So let me say this right here. The Power Within podcast is about the power that we have over our own lives. We have only been given this life to manage, and the way that we do that is through mind management. And so that's why it's so important to understand who and whose you are. When we understand our awareness of oneness, we understand that we are divine. When we understand our awareness of oneness, we understand our authority. When we understand our awareness of oneness, then we understand the power that we have to co-create with God. And we do what? We operate in that. We don't work in it, we operate in it. It's at that time that we can allow the fruit of the Spirit to flow in our lives. So because we're connected to the source and we're utilizing our resources, Source brings everything to us that we need. Source brings peace. Source brings hope. Source brings everything that this world truly can't give us. And that is peace. And now I want to talk specifically to my parents. Parents, listen to your sister. Your children need you. And what they need from you most is that you understand that you know who you are, that you know that you are royalty, and that you exhibit it every single day in word and in deed. Our children, and I say ours because I actually have never been able to have children, but I mother children, teenagers, and adults every single day. And in our youth especially, I see hopelessness. And it manifests itself in self-harming behaviors that eventually lead to suicide. If you cannot exhibit for your children that you understand who and whose you are with a confidence and a surety, then you cannot teach it. You cannot instill it in your children. And our children learn from us one way or another. They either learn from us because they see us doing things that are not right, and they say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go a different direction. But many times they see what we say, they see what we do, and they follow our footsteps. If a parent is not there, they find other ways to fill the need of love that comes through a connectedness with a loving parent, with friends, and with our God. So I want you to think about how you allow possibly television, music, and all these other types of entertainment to entertain and occupy your children's space and time, i.e., occupy their mind. Their mind is being fed by all of these outlets. One of the most alarming things to me is the video games that our children are accessing every single day and the amounts of time. I've worked with young people to the point that we now have gaming disorders in the therapist Bible called the DSM. I had seen children who would not go to school, high truancy, because these games have them captivated and their minds are being programmed in some otherworldliness. There are other games that are even more detrimental that promotes killing. And we look at it as if it is harmless. It glorifies murder. It glorifies hatred of self and of others. It promotes intolerance through the images that it shows and through the music that is playing. This is what our children are gaining every single day as their nourishment. And we expect them to have healthy minds and live productive and healthy lives. Is it even possible? We didn't have access to all of that when we were growing up. Think about it. Are we setting our children up for failure? How are they to know who they are when they are so desensitized to trauma? When they are so desensitized to people's feelings? When they are so self-centered and withdrawn, angry, and depressed? But there's more. Then there are games, and there's a particular game that I'm aware of because of my work with children that is out, that literally uses words that are related to this country's history in racism. The game promotes suicide. And you have some children that are so gullible to these things that they don't understand. Parents, you have to challenge them. You must understand what they're paying attention to. And you may not be able to stop them, or especially at a certain age, from accessing them. But if you start with them early, if you begin to have conversations with them early, to not tell them what to think, but promote healthy, free-spirited thinking that is connected to the vine, to a healthy source. Get them involved in things that promote their wellness and their health. Stop allowing media and all of these outlets that are simply there to promote their own agenda of hatred and of greed. And get a handle on what's going on with your kids, because a lot of times I'm asking, well, if your child is 13, why are we talking about this? Why can't you monitor and or shut down this activity? If this game is so concerning to you, as the parent, are you acting as the parent? Because you are a steward over your children. And I'm going to say this. I was watching today on NBC, not today on NBC, but I was watching CBS. And DJ Khaled was on there, and he talked about his son, and he talked about how his job is to protect his seed and his investment in his child. Your children are your assets. Back in the day, when people created families and they worked on farms, they created a lot of children to work on those farms. That was a part of the reason. It was strategic. These children were assets. Do you see your child as an asset or a liability? Are you treating your child as an asset and investing time, energy, and love in them? Because if not, we're going to lose them to the things of this world that will not bring them the peace and the joy that they are truly seeking after. They must find that peace and joy in you. If they can't come home and find peace in their household, but yet every single day there's chaos and disturbance and trauma that they're exposed to, they're going to go elsewhere and seek the love. And sometimes they don't know what it is that they're seeking. They can't call it, but they're out there searching. And so the best way for us to help them is for you to take the time to take care of yourself. Sister, girlfriend, you deserve it. You deserve it. And God loves you and you are so worthy. Listen, if you really think about it, none of us truly deserve God's love, but He gives it to us anyway. And so I'm going to leave you with that. Be encouraged. Be encouraged today that you are God's. Know ye not that ye are God's. Know it, own it. Hold your head up high and train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will never depart from it. They may stray, but they come back to the seeds that you planted in them. Because what you think on and what you spend your time on will grow. Spend your time with your kids. Love on your children. Let them see a confident woman who not only knows who she is, but she knows whose she is. Remember, the power within you is undeniable. Blessings from your favorite therapist, coach, and sister friend, Raquel. You've been listening to the Power Within podcast with Raquel Reed. For more information on all things Raquel, go to inpoweryou.com. And before you go, don't forget to comment, follow, and share this episode with someone you love.